Hey guys, so we're gonna go briefly over 2.1 and its concepts as best as I can and explain it. So in 2.1 it goes over relations and functions, so we're gonna just start from relations and work all the way down. So what is a relation? A relation is a set of pairs of input and output values, aka your x and y values. So a relation can be put into four different ways. So I have this small diagram for you here. So it can be put in ordered pairs. So like I said, your x and y's. You can put it in a mapping diagram, which is the easiest and which we will be using later to figure out what a function is. A table of values. This is basically this except more controlled, so you know which is which. And graphing, so you graph where all your points are. So, and they don't use the word x and y, or they do use the word input and output value a lot, but they're normally going to say domain and range. Your domain is going to be your input value, and your range is going to be your output value. So this is going to be very helpful in the future for what the next question is. What is a function? A function is a relation in which each element in the domain corresponds to one element in range. So, like I said, a domain is your x value and your range is your y values. So I've put together two mapping diagrams, as you can see here. So this one right here with the check mark is a function. This one is not a function, and I'll explain it right now. So each domain corresponds to one element in the range. So 1 goes to 3, 2 goes to 7, 8 goes to 5. So each domain goes to one range, and that's what makes it a function. With this one though, let's look. 2 goes to 7, 2 also goes to 8, 3 goes to 4, 6 goes to 8, 5 goes to 9. Now the reason this is not a function is this domain goes to two ranges, while everyone else's goes to one. And like it says, the domain corresponds to one element in range. So this is not a function because this domain is going to two different ranges, and that is why it's not a function. Now, another test to find out if a relation is a function or not is a vertical line test. This is when you use graphs. So I've given you an example right here. So if you graph out your points and you just draw a line, like however it is, the vertical line test is you draw vertical lines over your points. Now, this one right here, this is a function. The vertical line test tells you if it's a function or not. If it's a function or not due to if it passes 2 points. So this one does not pass 2 points. So this is a function. This one, however, during the vertical line test, it passes 2 points. So it passes over the line that you drew. So this is not a function. Now, going back to this one, now you can kind of see it easier why this is not a function, or why this is a function, sorry. Because when you do your vertical line test, it does not pass any other points. So this is what you use on a graph to determine if it's a function or not. Next, last thing is a function notation. So when you're writing out equations, they're going to start you off like this right here. It's going to be f of x equals 3x plus 2. And at first, you're going to be super confused, like, what is this? So basically, how this works is this is going to be your x value, and this is basically going to be, this whole thing is basically going to be your output value, input value. So basically, it's saying the function of x equals 3x plus 2. And your next problem is x equals 4. So what you're basically just doing is plugging everything in. So if you look right over here, Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I have to erase that. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. The X isn't there, but let me just... So, basically, you input 4 for X, and then you solve it. So, basically, function notation is filling out and inputting everything in its assigned places. So I'm going to show you another diagram on my screen right here. So like it says over here, output and input. So how they do it is read as f of x, like I said, function f of x. And like I said, you input for x. Now, how you can connect this all to Hawaiian culture, as I like to think of it, is, so I can't draw, but here's how it is. So basically in hula, you have these things called kupe'es, which is basically like lace or like your hands and your feet or whatever. But for each foot is one kupe'e. So you don't double up unless it's a part of your dance, but that's rarely ever. So this is also a function and a relation, obviously. But if you think about it, one foot goes to one kupe'e. One hand goes to one kupe'e. Your head goes to one, like, hakule. So this is also a function, and that's how you can connect it to Hawaiian culture when you think about it. So you can think, okay, one kupe'e goes to my right hand, one kupe'e goes to my left hand. It's never going to double up or correspond and all of that. Well, I hope that was easy and simple for you to understand about 2.1, and thank you for listening.